there are women that will just kind of be mesmerized by the fact that you are so impressive and it's garnering attention, and it puts you at like a higher position socially. So they respond to that, right? That social status, essentially, right? That's what both of these behaviors are. They show your social status, and they show that you have a high social status. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Marvel Matter, back with another video, and today what I'm going to talk about are 3 behaviors that attract women, right? 3 behaviors that attract women. Now, I've talked about, ways to kind of counterintuitively attract women, but there are traditional ways that, guys instinctively do that do attract women, right? And sometimes when you don't have the confidence, or you don't have, or let's say you have like a social anxiety or something, you can be hindered from doing some of these things. But you'll see other guys who are confident, who are, bold and boisterous. They'll do some of these things and it works for them, right? So I have a couple of those in here, and then I have one that, you can use if you're not the most confident, outgoing type of person. All right, so there's a little bit for everybody in here. But I'm gonna start with the first one. And the first one is, if a woman sees you socializing with other people, right? She sees that you are very social with other people, and other people respond well to you, and they seem to like you. They think you're funny. They think you're smart. They think you're all these things, right? Or you know what I'm saying? She can just tell, like, okay, you when you are trying to command attention, you can command attention, right? When a woman sees that, they love that, bro. They love that. Anytime I'm in a situation like that, I observe like how the woman is watching me, how the woman that I'm interested in, right? How she's watching me. Like, even if, let's say, it's a situation where she's doing that thing where, or we're doing that thing where it's kind of that back and forth, right? It's kind of that I say hi to her sometimes, she say hi to me sometimes. Nothing's really happening. I can tell that when she sees me talking to other people, when she sees me engaging with other people, having a good time with other people, something in her, like her walls come down, and she feels more, and she feels less guarded, right? She feels less guarded, and the next time that we interact, right, she sees the fun, right? So she wants to engage in the fun. She's like, okay, I know this guy has a fun personality, right? So then she comes kind of like wanting to spark that with you. She wants to enjoy that with you as well, because especially if she sees you doing that with multiple, if she sees you do it with one other person, all right, whatever. But if she sees like, oh, he's cool with this person, he's cool with that person, like he's just a cool dude, but it's weird with me. Something goes in their head. I don't know if they're thinking something must be wrong with me, and they understand like, okay, I need to approach him differently, because obviously if everybody else is cool with him and it's just me, then he's a cool dude. So I want to engage like that, right? I want to see what it is. Obviously, you got to be somewhat attractive, right, for her to be interested like that. But even if you're not, sometimes guys who just have that socially dominant personality, they can just take over a room. They can, take up the space in the room and get the attention. You can use that attention to your advantage, right? You can definitely use that attention to your advantage. So if she sees you talking with other people, and she sees that you have that power, right? That charm, that charisma with people, it's gonna intrigue her, and she's gonna want to engage in that and experience that with you. I've seen it time and time again. I've said this before, like sometimes I'll take a class doing different things, and when I do that, when I take over the room, I always have a girl asking me for my number, trying to exchange Instagrams, and it's not even just one. It's like, and it's not just gonna be her. It's gonna be a lot of people, right? A lot of people are going to, but the attractive girl is going to as well, right? The girl that you're interested in is probably going to as well, when they see that you have that ability, right? When they see that you have that charm, that charisma. All right, so that's the first one. Now, the second one is when you put your talents on display, right? I've definitely covered this a little bit, but I want to go deeper into it. Like when you put your talents on display and it doesn't look like you're trying hard, even if you are trying hard, if you're good at something, I want to really drive that home. If you're good at it, and a girl sees that other people think you're good at it, and they respond to you, right? They respond to you positively. That is going to help you tremendously, right? That is going to help you. If you have the confidence, if you have the courage to put your talent on display, whatever the talent may be, if it's singing, playing an instrument, You know what I'm saying? If you can do things physically that are impressive, like do a backflip or whatever, do whatever it is. It could be anything, bro. If you in an environment where you get to show off the thing that you're good at, and you're actually impressive at it, it's going to. I mean, humans in general are going to be attracted to that. People like to see people that are good at things, but it comes with the women as well. I mean, that's basically what groupies are. Groupies are just girls who, and every field has groupies. Like there's music groupies, obviously. There's movie groupies. There's sports groupies. There's comedy groupies. You know what I'm saying? Every group of men who is impressive has groupies. It's just a thing, right? So if you have a talent and you can put it on display, you can have that, right? It's that same effect. You don't have to be famous. It comes in scales, right? There's groupies at every level. There are women that will just kind of be mesmerized by the fact that you are so impressive and it's garnering attention, and it puts you at like a higher position socially. So they respond to that, right? That social status, essentially. Right, that's what both of these behaviors are. They show your social status, and they show that you have a high social status, and it actually matters, right? That actually matters. So if you can display that in any way, sometimes it works still, even if it's just you and her, right? If it's just you and her and you're actually impressive, and she can comprehend what you're doing as impressive, that's important, right? Because let's say, for example, you could do 100 push-ups in a row, right? Now, if this is a girl that doesn't work out, if this is a girl that doesn't really understand how difficult a push-up is, she doesn't understand that most people on earth cannot do that, 100 push-ups in a row. You know what I'm saying? If she doesn't comprehend that and you do it, she's not going to be impressed by what you're doing. She's not going to be impressed. But if it's a girl who works out, you know what I'm saying, is in the gym, does push-ups herself, and knows that, okay, I can only do 5 push-ups. He just did 100 push-ups. That's very impressive. If she can recognize how impressive what you're doing is, then yeah, you're gonna get the benefit of it. That's why singing is something that always does well, right? Because everybody can hear when somebody sounds good singing. You know what I'm saying? If they're like, wow, you have a beautiful voice, it transfers. It's understandable by everybody. Everybody can recognize that. So people who can sing really well, really do good. People who can play instruments really well, do good. Dancing, if you can actually dance really well, like people can understand like, oh, this is impressive. It's easier to see. But sometimes you have a talent or an ability that requires a little bit of context. And if that's the case, your best bet is to do it in front of other people who understand the context so they can react, and then she's just going to react because they're reacting, right? She's going to see how impressed they are, and then she's going to be like, oh, this is impressive. It's crazy. It's crazy how it works. That's just, human psychology, but it's going to work on her even if she doesn't understand the magnitude of what it is that you're doing. Right? So that's the second one. And the third one, this is for my less socially confident guys, for my introverted guys, for my guys with a little bit of anxiety, right? A woman will always be attracted to the strong, silent type, right? The mysterious guy. That's always going to work in your favor. So if you are that and you display that, right? It's crazy because on one end, they love the super social guy, right? The guy who's at the top of the social hierarchy, who's able to do and interact with everybody and can take control of the room and really be, you know what I'm saying, the guy. But they also are just naturally intrigued to that guy who's completely outside of that. He's completely the opposite of that. He doesn't interact, right? He interacts very sparingly. He stays to himself. He stays in his lane. He looks like he knows where he's going. He looks like he knows what he's doing, right? They're attracted to that as well. I've had situations like that. I remember one time I literally was in the club. It was like in the beginning. The party kind of just started. People aren't really there yet. And I'm just like chilling. Cool. I don't drink, so I'm chilling on the couch. I got my water or whatever. There's nothing really happening, nobody really around yet. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just chilling. I pull out my phone, I get on YouTube, and I watch basketball highlights. And I'm watching basketball highlights, right? I'm not paying attention to nothing around me. I'm just in my zone watching basketball highlights. Next thing I know, I look up. It's a girl standing right there, like, oh, can I sit there? Can I sit next to you? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm already hip to everything, so I already know what's going on. But I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead. I just play along. Continue watching my highlights. A minute passed by, minute and a half. She's like, oh, who's playing? I'm like, oh, no, these are just highlights. I'm just watching the highlights. She's like, oh, okay, but highlights of who? She started talking to me. She's intrigued, right? She's intrigued by me because I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own zone, right? I'm doing my own thing. I'm not, and how I know this is the reason is because I continue to talk to her, right? So I had a conversation with her. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't my type, but I was having a conversation with her. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. We're looking around. I was like, I'm like, you didn't see anybody in here you like? Because this is the conversations I always have with girls, whether I am interested in them or not. I'm gonna have this conversation about like, oh, okay, like what's your dating life going on? I like talking about dating, right? Clearly. So I'm asking her, I'm like, oh, you didn't see anybody in here? I'm like, what about homeboy right here? She's like, nah. She's like, I mean, he looks good, but she's like, you see how he's just looking around? He's just looking around too much. She's like, he looks like an F-boy because he looked like he's scoping out the place. He's just so like, you know, he's not doing his own thing, right? He's not doing his own thing. Like when you're doing your own thing, it's attractive to women. You're not concerned about what's going on. I have a friend, that's his move. That's just what he does. He only does that. He gets in the club, he goes wherever he's at, he finds a spot, he just gets on his phone. And at some point in the night, a girl is gonna come up to him. She's either gonna come up and bump into him. She's either gonna come up and step on his foot. I've seen that happen. She's gonna do something. Maybe she'll ask, like if it's a bunch of us, she might be like, oh, what's up with your friend? All he does is go and just be in his own lane, right? And that you can do that. The only thing is you still have to have the confidence to have the conversation. You still have to know what to do after that. You still have to have the social skills after that. But that will attract them. You being in your own lane, you being like that mysterious guy, not really paying attention. It's like, well, what is he doing? Why is he not, you know what I'm saying? Why is he not in the mix? I've heard girls say they prefer guys that are not in the mix, right? Guys in the mix, they don't trust them, right? So being socially dominant and socially confident is not always gonna get you the girl. There's gonna be some girls that gets you. And then being the strong, silent type, there's gonna be some girls that gets you. But they both work. They both work at the extremes of each end. They both work, right? So yeah, that's the third one. If you are extremely, you know, to yourself in your own lane, it comes off as like a mysterious type of thing, and it intrigues women and it attracts them to you, right? But then you still got to know what to do after. You still got to know how to talk. You still got to engage, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to make some type of connection in some type of way. It can be, you know, a deep connection. It could be shallow. It could be sexual. It could be flirty. You know what I'm saying? It could be whatever the connection is. You got to make the connection at the end of the day. But these are things that can get that kind of going, get that interest, get that attraction from the girl, get her over to you so you can do your thing. All right, fellas. So that's the video for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some more topics in the comment section. I still got the consultations, coaching calls. If you need help, if there's anything that you're struggling with, book a consultation. We'll talk about it. I'll point out the problems, kind of let you know, okay, this is where we need to head. This is the plan we need to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we can work on in the future. You book a call, we'll work on it. We'll solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it done. All right, fellas. So you know what it is. It's mind over matter, marvel over matter. Let's get it.